Good morning, everyone. This is Biz Chicks TV. This is the place where you can find tips and tools to help you do business better. We're here to help you run a profitable business that's fun to run and to take the hassle out of your hustle. And this morning is Wednesday, so we are here with Coach Karen all the way from Toronto, Canada, talking about bringing those profits in daily. I'm terribly cover-ups, and I want to give a shout out to my partner, Miss Francine Gregory, real estate entrepreneur and tech diva, and we're the Biz Chicks. So welcome to the show. I'm going to turn on my ring light because it seems a little dark in here to me today.
I thought it's probably over here too, so
Is it cloudy over there too? So I'm going to sort of get my ring light together here, guys. While we are getting started, we want to welcome you, those of you who are watching on the replay, and those of you who are watching live. We want you to jump into the conversation, put your questions in the chat, let us know what's on your mind, and we're going to introduce to some and present to others Coach Karen Fern, all the way from Toronto, Canada, your money mindset coach. So get your money on your mind and your mind on your money right now so you can take advantage of these nuggets. How
yes.
you doing, Coach?
I'm doing well. I'm doing well. This is July. Could you believe the second half of the year? And this month we have been talking about, at least last week, we talked about systems behind the scenes, who are entrepreneurs, why are they so vital to the world, and what special gifts, you must have to be in that bracket. And I also did give a definition. I'm going to give it again this week. The process of designing, launching, and running a new business. It's a small business usually, and you have to have the capacity and the willingness to develop and manage any risk to make it. That's the definition. So I thought I'll just bring it again to the table, just in case, whether you get it before or it's just a nice little refresher. Having said that, we're going to dive in this week, and next week we're going to end the month just talking about the characteristics of successful entrepreneurs and all the things. So we're going to look at, there's so many, but we're going to look at 7 things, and we're going to look at 4 this week, and then we're going to look at the last 3 in the last week. The last 3 is really big, so I am just going to do 3 of those, but I think I can whip through these 4 today, as detailed as I can get. And so we're going to talk about, and here what number 1 is, self-motivation. That is going to propel you so far. Number 1 is self-motivation. Number 2 is understanding what you offer and how it fits into the marketplace.
Okay. So wait a minute. I got to get my pen together.
I'm gonna go down the list and I'm gonna come back up. You know how
that's right. Okay, you keep it moving, but I want you to know what I was doing over here.
Yes.
Okay, there's a lot of movement going on over there, and I want you to know that it is me getting my act together here so I can get those notes down. Okay, so self-motivation.
Yep. And number 2 is understanding what you offer and how it fits into the marketplace. And you've got to understand that. You can't, you have to understand all the moving parts. So I'll get into it later.
Okay.
And number 3 is take risk. Smart ones, but you got to take risk. If you are on the ledge and you're not jumping off into whatever, you're going to be there. Those are the non-action takers. They just sit on the fence and they do nothing. So you got to do. And number 4 is network. Know-how. You really need to know how to network. And I'm going to talk a little bit about that because people do that in Messenger so crazily that they don't understand they did it better. Even if somebody don't buy right away, they'll buy later. You can't say I'm selling Mary Kay and just send me whatever Mary Kay have this month. I'm not going to buy it, even if I'm a Mary Kay buyer. You got to start talking to the people to get them to want to buy. All right, so we're going to start off with number 1. I'm not going to just base, I'm just going to dive right into it because self-motivation is one of the most important traits we need to have. We need to understand that nobody has to tell you when to wake up. Now, if you had that habit, and that habit is not because you went to work, that habit is because your mom been waking you up for a long time. And when she left, somebody else was waking you up, the alarm clock. And then your boss wake you up because he told you, he or she says, if you're not here by 9, 8 or 9, you're going to be fired. So they wake you up because that understanding is in the back of your head. Now, when you start your own business and you decide, I'm going to be an entrepreneur, I'm going to be a business owner, there's nobody to wake you up. And you're like, okay, they didn't wake me up on time. And then when you do wake up, you're like, so what do I do? This is where self-motivation comes into play. And it doesn't happen on the day you woke up. You wake up, you woke up. It has to happen the night before you go to sleep. You have to tell yourself what is going to happen tomorrow morning.
Oh my goodness.
Nervous.
Okay. Okay, I got to draw an arrow. So the night before, I need to have something to look forward to in the morning.
Yes, yes. That is the secret sauce. When you know, when you go to bed knowing, it's like a kid going to bed Christmas Eve night, knowing Christmas morning, the gifts are going to be there. They are excited to go to bed. And if you're an adult and you're still excited, like I'm always on, you get to bed knowing what's going to happen next day. So your job is to be excited about the new day, but you got to know the night before. Wow. We waste so much time in the morning because if we didn't plan the night before, and let me tell you, I've had my experience. I'm a planner, but I've had my fall down days where I come in and I say this to myself, Karen, if you had done last night, if you didn't get carried away in whatever area and you did plan, you wouldn't be worried in the morning. Hence what made me years ago, 5 years ago, decided to have my boards up. So if I did not, I plan every Sunday. I plan for the whole month, then I go and refresh during the week. So I'm planned out. But when I used to be, and I was running several businesses at the time, I was like, Karen, you want to do it all, but you can't. So I had to block off periods of time. And I treated it like my job. I come in, I flip up my paper, I see what's going on between which time. And that's what I'm doing, even if I don't like it, because that's what I schedule in to get that. I don't worry about me liking it because I'm going to like certain parts of my business and certain parts of my business. It feels tedious. Everybody feels it. I don't care how you love what you do. There's parts of your business that feel real tedious. So you have to set you up in the night before so you can come in roaring to get things done.
Yeah, Delia says, make every day prep for Christmas. She loves it.
Thank you.
And it just makes sense because you do get excited about Christmas Day.
Yeah, you want to unwrap that present. So you're roaring to go. And whatever you set up to do, get it done. And don't stuff the turkey because it's going to blow up. Don't stuff the turkey, meaning don't put oodles of things in there that you know you're not going to be able to manage. People keep forgetting they're human beings. So when you get in there and you stuff the turkey, you're like, oh my God, I can't get this done. Oh my God, there's so many things to do. Oh my God, how am I going to finish? And this is your brain start getting excited and worried and stressed out and nothing gets done. But
you're right.
If you have 4 things on your list, just 4 things on your list, and you got 3 done, you're like, I just missed 1. I just missed 1. And the 1 is not that so big. Or you might see that you have space for the 1 and space for yourself. And if you're like me, you get to dance for like a good 10, 15 minutes, or you get to just enjoy knowing that it is completed. You know, that's also a joy in itself, just sitting.
Let me ask you this, Coach, because we've been through so much psychologically in the last several months.
Yes, for sure.
If you have become paralyzed to the point where, you know, you just haven't done anything with your business or you haven't done what you feel is enough, would you recommend jumping in gradually with maybe starting with 1 thing for the first week and then 2 and build up to 4? Or do you?
For sure.
Or sure. Start with the 4 and.
No, for sure. If you are feeling paralyzed, it is hard to get probably the 4 done. But I would still want you to list them down.
Okay. All
It's
right.
still less than, but I want you to promise yourself, I'm going to get at least one thing done.
Especially if you've been doing zero.
Yes, if
People,
you've been doing zero.
because a lot of times, it sounds to me sort of like exercise.
Yeah,
When you stopped exercising and you went to zero, and now you want to come back and do 100, and you're disappointed because you can't do 100, when you should have come back in gradually, like you did when you first started exercising, with 10 or 20, squats or whatever, push-ups, whatever, as opposed to, I didn't get the 100 done.
exactly.
I'm not doing anything tomorrow.
Exactly.
You see?
Exactly. I hear you, and that's how I look at it. When I started
Okay.
running and walking, I was just doing a mile. My goal was to get to 5. So I started at 1, and I purposely said, I'm going to do 1 mile for 3 weeks straight. 6 days a
Exactly.
week. I knew I could commit to that. So when my brain said to me, Karen, if you skip today, nothing's going to go wrong. I said, you're a liar. I'm doing it. It's just a mile. That's it. And that mile, and it didn't matter how silly I looked to people, I turned back. Or when I was doing my tips, I do the mile, and that was it. Then I got 2 miles, I went to 3 miles, and then I moved to, my 5 mile.
Uh-huh.
When I start outside, like I would just walk around my crescent up and down the street and come back, or run, because that's what I know that I can do well. If I do more, I wouldn't do more the next day, and I
Exactly.
won't do more the following day. So I don't want to I don't want to extend myself to such a place that I don't want to go back to it.
Exactly. Because then you have failure built in.
Mm-hmm.
And we already were suffering from that. And it could cause us to go backwards and really get discouraged or whatever.
Exactly. It's just,
Okay.
let's talk about money. Let's interject money a little bit in there for the same
Yeah.
thing with the money. When I talk to somebody about, and a client on Monday that I said, so we haven't spoken about money. And I said to her, we got to talk about money, because I needed to know how much money she had to invest in the business. That's going to be opening next month. And, she's a little shy about it. And she's like, it's not a lot of money. And that's fine. But she still needed to know the number. And I want her to know
Okay.
the number, because when she knows the number, then she is able to say, well, or we get to discuss how that number is going to be divided up and look well. Part of bookkeeping, part of keeping your books, is understanding that number that you have and what that number will allow you to do in the business to get it started off. So you're moving from a place where you're not only thinking about it emotionally, but you're thinking about it really practically. This is the money I have. These are all the things that are going to come out of this money to start this business. This is what
Okay.
needs to come in, so that I can take it and actually grow the business. So there's no falseness in it. If I come into the business and a client said to me, listen, I have no money to start a business, then we're going to look at other areas that she can use, but we also still are going to put a price point on each item, each equipment that she's using, so that in her head, and as a confident builder too, she can see that the business did start off with asset, and here's the value of that asset. So she understands that.
So Al says, money and budgets. I need some water here. But I think what I wanted to say about this is that oftentimes when we're solopreneurs, if we're producing something, we undervalue it. But I don't want to get off the topic, because you have 4 points here you want to make.
Yes.
Conversation. Go ahead.
Yes. But I just wanted to slip that in there. So when we talk about self-motivation, I also understand, and I want you to know that I know that money is part of it, confidence building is part of it, but you have to want it so badly that you want to get up and do it, crawling, even when you feel you can't do it. Because when you get to the end of the week, you're in shock with how much you've accomplished with just those tiny baby steps of motivating yourself to take action. Right. So number 2 is understanding what you offer and how it fits into the market. You have to understand what you offer. When we say this, we're really talking about, you know what you do. You can tell people, but what are you really offering? And that is how do you transfer people from where they are to where they want to be. And that's product and services. We think about it only in surface terms, but it's also product based. How we make that person feel, that's what you have to understand in the marketplace. When I was a hairstylist, how I make people feel when they leave my chair. People come to me, sometimes they're going for an interview. And by the time they leave my chair, not only did I fix their hair, but I fixed their mind. We talk through it. We sometimes role play through it. Yeah, coming and sitting in my chair was an experience that people get. It was never only to get your hair done. You get way more than that, because most clients became friends of mine. We're still friends, although I'm no longer their hairstylist.
Okay, and Al says we undervalue our skills in producing content, and I'm going to add, and services.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So
hey, Brenna, how are you doing this morning?
Hi, Brenna. Hi, Alfredo. You have to understand what you're bringing, how you're helping people, in other words, so that you know that this is at the front of your forebrain. This is where your mission statement and your value that you bring in your company, all those things are written in there. And even though those are not for the public to see, the reason we want business owners to write those things down, vision statement and mission statement, is because we want them to always tap into it when they're talking to their clients, when they're feeling frustrated. If you go back into those areas and you read what you've said and why and all those things, it helps you to be and understand what you're doing. All right. Number 3 is the risk-taking part. And this is hard for some people, and some people will say, well, it's not hard. So we have all types of people.
Yeah.
But sometimes it's hard for you initially, but it's hard after you took the risk. So it could be any parts of the risk-taking that's hard. It doesn't have to be, though, because our job is to go in, research, and dissect and understand the risk. When you understand the risk, you can take it. It's no more that you have to worry about it so much as a risk. It is a risk, but you have to understand how you're taking it. So I often say this again, I'm going to go into the money talk here. When people say, I'm investing $5,000, but I don't know if I'm going to get it back, my question always is, why would you invest in them? And they'll say, well, I like what I do. And because, no, why are you doing it? If you don't know that you could pay yourself back the $5,000, you are not self-motivated, you don't understand what you bring into the market, you definitely is not going to work hard jumping off that ledge into it, because somebody who is going to invest $5,000 knows that they're willing and they made the promise beforehand. Most successful people, if they come to coach with me, understand that they're coming to me so that I can help them go narrow and deep into where they need to go. They made that decision before they purchased services. They are ready to do the work. Now, they might know how much work they're going to have to do and how deep we're going to go, but they start preparing their minds. I'm sure even if they didn't first, after our free discussion, where they want to go, where they want to see themselves be. This is not a tangible thing. So to some people who don't understand coaching, they're like, well, I don't see this and I don't see that. It's not teaching. There are teaching moments in coaching, and there is mentorship that happens within the coaching. But coaching is me pulling out of you what you need to see happen, and me dreaming and visualizing for you before you get there. So I help pull you towards that dream of yours. That's what it really means. That's what really happens. And so because you can't touch it and feel it, sometimes if you weren't clear or you didn't get clear at some point, you're like, well, I got coached with Coach Karen, but I didn't get to do this and I didn't get to do that. You need to come in with what you want to see, what's your end goal, what you want to see happen. And if you really spend time looking back, you will see the changes. Changes doesn't happen like this, but it happens and it continues to happen.
Sort of like those pounds that I put on during the situation. They happened because I stopped doing some things.
Right.
Now, Al says this: I'm bringing knowledge and resources to the table. 4 years of experience live streaming for nonprofit organizations. Built up my streaming studio since 2016 to the present. Okay, so obviously Al knows what it is he brings. Okay, and so once we have that understanding, now we put it out there. When we put it out there, that's when the risk taking takes place.
Exactly. Yeah. That is part of the risk taking, because it is your nerves get shocked, you get disappointed, people don't like it, people tell you off. Those are things though that you can anticipate.
They do that.
Yeah, those are things you can anticipate. Your job, part of mindset work is to understand that A lot of people is not going to like it. A lot of people is not going
Okay.
to use your services. A lot of people
Mhm.
are going to have a lot of negative things to say about your services. Your job is to be so confident in what you do that even though it might sting a bit, you're not to go leaning over on their side and start saying, well, I wonder if they know. You know what you got, you know what you
Mhm.
do, and that's just part of your testing. And you have to withstand that testing. You have to withstand that negativity. You have to keep self motivated yourself to say, this is what I am going to do. And you might have to
Mhm.
tweak some things, but if that's what you want to do, you're going to have to stick with it. Nobody, I mean, nobody, even if money was left to you, get to any place overnight. You got to still go through the journey.
Mm. Okay. All right. So so then when you take the risk, you got to be willing to take the punches.
You do. You definitely do. You got to
Well,
be able to
you
take.
know something, because I can remember when I started my business, I didn't tell everybody. I didn't tell the people that I thought could talk me out of it until I had started making a profit.
You see, and you knew those people. You initially know the people who will try to make you feel or
Oh,
tell
why
you.
are you doing that? People don't. Blah, blah, blah.
We
Mhm.
know. We know you in this lifetime and you're our ages. You know those people. And those
Mhm.
people you do not tell until you're ready to tell. Matter of fact, some of those people, they hear about you and they ask you and then you tell.
Yes, but why didn't you tell me, girl? Really? Uh, and then, you know, it just is what it is. Brenda, I need you to call me. I need some product.
There you go.
Just
Brenna is doing a good job that
She's doing a great job.
let's do this. You see what I mean? She understands what she offers.
Mhm. Mhm.
And there's gonna be people who is going to argue about it. But Brenna don't have to worry because Brenna knows what she offers. She understands her product.
Exactly.
She
And
understands her product.
and she's building a repeat business
Yes.
because it's something that needs to be replenished.
Mhm.
So as people need it,
Yep.
they call her like now, Brenda. But so the risk, I like that. That if you're not willing to invest in your own business, maybe you need to reevaluate.
You definitely need to reevaluate yourself. You have to, you know, you don't want to be in that. When I opened my cleaning business and it was really taking off, I met a woman who owned a painting company. She was a painter, and she used to get this all the time, like, where's your boss and all those foolish nonsense because she's
Mhm.
a woman painter. And lots of times she came in to clean up men's mess and not to put them down, but she buy the best brushes, the best rollers, so that her finished product was worthy of the price she was charging. And she never let anybody, when she come in to give an estimate, and if you said it, you can get it from John for $50 less or $100 less, she never argue with you.
That's fine
No, she just leave and she do her thing. She made sure one of
because she knew John was going to leave a mess for you to clean up, girl. He was going to leave a mess. And women, we tend to clean it like we'd want it cleaned before we leave.
thank
All
you,
the,
Terry. That was that woman. I'm
are
telling
all the
you.
brushes picked up. Did we actually not drip paint when we rolled up the tarp? Did we?
I mean, when the woman left, she left. Okay, because our company go in and clean, and the paint dripper did. Now when she's there, no, 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 everything is clean. One of her missions was to hire women who want to work in this industry and
Mhm.
hard to get jobs. So she created this wonderful place for women. Created her company, make them wear certain uniforms that just signifies and just celebrate women and make sure they show up powerful.
There you go.
Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful business owner. And so she stood her ground. And yes, she had times when it was difficult getting clients, but she stood up for what she believed in. She understood what she offered.
Well, we got some comments. Let's see. Am I pronouncing this right, Delia? Delia? Okay. In Korean, apparently they don't say risk taking, they say risk bearing. Interesting.
Right?
Okay. And then
So nice to learn something
it
new.
is. It is. It's sort of like there's no word for crisis. I think in China, I think it's called opportunity.
Ah.
Okay, so this is my mistake too. Al says I tell people my plans and goals. I had folks attack me being my private channels because they were jealous of my success in Amazon Twitch affiliate streaming channel and also in my 1 year inside Amazon logistics. Yeah, so you can't tell everybody everything. He's got more. Hold on. I will oh, okay. I will follow Teolina's advice of only telling folks when I made a profit, which I've done in my live streaming consulting business. Yes, and then you can't tell everybody that you're making a profit because some people are going to want you to give them your services free. Am I right, Coach?
We know that story.
Girl, you're doing so good. You need to just give me such and such. What? Or you need to just give me your coaching services. Or you need, okay.
Yep. Yep. Yeah. We're not
No,
playing that. We're
you're
not.
in business to make a profit
Yep.
and don't be ashamed of it.
Nope.
It's sort of like I had to explain to my children, people would call them bougie because they spoke the King's English and they happened to be black. Okay, I had to explain to them that people are trying to get where you are so they can get a better position in life, et cetera, et cetera. But you have to have someone help you with that when other people are coming at you really interestingly.
Yeah.
So,
if they can't see themselves there, they have to find names to call you and try to make you uncomfortable.
and to bring you back down where they are.
Yes, that's what it is. Because my kids have experienced that. Because people visited us and see the slander that I keep, and I'm not apologizing for it. I love it, and I'm not moving from that. And so you go your way.
Exactly. Never apologize for being successful, people.
We're not doing that. We're not doing that. Okay. So number 4 was networking.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta network. You gotta network. And networking is the big word. And you go out and you meet people and you do that. But we have always networked as human beings. We have always. We just didn't put in a bracket and a certain name, but we have always. If you're old back, people meet together and they yap and talk. Even in my generation, and that's how people know about what you do, and they tell other people. That's what networking is about. Now, networking in this day and age right now, especially after the virus, it's going to be hard to get back out in the networking field. So we network online, and not because we can't do both, but we network online. Mm-hmm. Here's what not to do before I talk what to do. Here's what not to do. Do not, when somebody accepts your friendship, get into their messenger and send them your product. They very rarely, and I'm not going to say never, will buy the product. Get to know them. Ask to meet. A 5-minute conversation. Or maybe ask if they have something that they meet and greet people with. I'm about to do that. Started a little network meetup because I feel like it's something I need to teach. Like, get in there, talk to the person, find out what they're doing, find out how you can help them and how they can help you, or how they can recommend you. Don't get into their box and just send them what you do. It is quite annoying to us, whether you're successful or you just started out a business person. They're busy trying to run their lives. Don't do that. Introduce yourself. Tell them what you do. If you got a Facebook group, invite them, or if you got a Facebook page, business page, invite them, let them come in, let them see what you do. Let them start asking you some questions. You go and check out their page and ask them some questions and start building a conversation. Start talking to them. This is what you must do. Yes, must do. Find out about people. People buy from people. That's how you're going to be successful in networking. Because I've had people who never bought from me, but will tell oodles of people about me, and I get a sale.
Exactly.
That's how I approach it. That's how you network. Years ago, I used to teach this little free course called How to Network in Public. Get there. Do not take business cards. and introduce to your people and observe and soak up as much stories about other business owners as possible. Make sure you have a notepad, the real interesting ones, take their information down, tell them you don't need a business card, you just want their information and you want to talk with them. The people who really want a conversation, they will stay. The people who just want to drop business cards like crazy, they don't want to have that with you. Those are not your peeps. So I would have this notebook and I would talk to a bunch of people and we would just build from there. If I know of something, I'll invite them to. If they know of something, they'll invite me to. And we're forming this stuff little by little. And all of a sudden, they're calling me for different things because we had this conversation. Or I would recommend them and they'll call me to just thank me. Thanks, Karen. You know, so-and-so called me. It was so great. I'm so thankful that you recommended that insurance guy, the real estate lady, you know, the mortgage broker, this guy that was doing dating services. I'm like, you needed to date? He's like, when you're talking, I was busy thinking, I need a date. I took the information and called the guy. Now I'm engaged. You never know how you're going to connect people. That is networking, connecting people. You don't want to be selfish. While you're servicing others, you will be served.
There you go. Connecting others. I love that. Okay, now we got a couple of comments. It is time to go, but I'm going to put Al's comments up. He says, I give my help and knowledge. Free advice is free, but how you use the advice gets its value. And then,
Hi, Tachi.
Oh, wait a minute. Did I skip one? Let's see. Hi, Tachi. How you doing this morning, Doc? I've done networking, but what I forget to do with networking is also build relationships. Yes. Al, nobody wants a booty call, okay? Hey, how you doing? Would you like to go to bed? I don't think so. That's not a good look. Okay. So yeah, we want to make sure that we build relationships. I have a couple of dates at least before we try to ask people to go to bed with us. Okay. Really? Okay.
Talk to me a bit. Come on. Talk to me a bit.
A minute. Okay.
And it takes longer when you do it this way, but when you talk to the person, it just, it happens so much quicker.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And then Robin's in here. How you doing this morning, Robin?
Hey, Robin.
And she just love that on networking, Coach Karen.
I'm telling you, there's people who just want to come in and hit it and hit it and hit it and leave, and it never really happens because you're hitting, but you're missing. You're like you.
It's not cute. It's not cute.
It's not cute. It's going
and people remember that the next time they see you.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
Oh, I know what she wants. I know what he wants.
Yeah. Bye. I'm not chatting with you.
Just here to chat me up so they can sell me something. Oh, that's the worst. All right, Daddy.
Yes.
So do we want to recap?
Yeah, so let's recap what we covered today. Today we talk about self-motivation, understanding what you offer, taking risk or being in the risk, networking. Those are the 4 that we covered today. And the top one, if you notice, is self-motivation. Mm-hmm. Nobody has to wake you up. You have to wake up yourself. You got to plan the night before so you could be excited to enter into that day that you're going to do whatever you say you're going to do. You are your first customer. So please do not disappoint yourself. Get in there and appoint you. Stop disappointing you. Stop making excuses. Stop apologizing to you for not showing up because you do it whether you get it or not. You apologize. All right. No, stop it. Just get up. No excuses and just do it. Whatever you say you're going to do, do it. 1 glass of water, drink the water. Even if you don't like the taste, just drink the glass of water. That's what you say you're going to do. And if you're going to do a portion of your business, whatever that is, get up and do it. Call 3 people. Call 3 people. Do not hide. Call 3 people.
So Robin says, I was told to meet 1 to 3 people per event. Quality, not quantity. There you go.
Mm-hmm. For sure. And then number 2 is understanding what you offer. I explained that before. Understand what you offer people. Understand your risk, research, understand, and network. Next week, we're going to be talking about the basic of money management skills and knowledge and flexibility in your business and passion. Passion is coming at the bottom. Notice, passion is coming at the bottom. It is great, but it's coming at the bottom. Because if you don't have all these things coming down the funnel, and you're passionate about sewing, you're passionate about eyebrows, and you're passionate about hair, but then you're not really making any money in your business, sorry, you could love it. It should be your hobby, not your business.
That's right. Because one thing I noticed was I was making money in my business, but I didn't feel like it because I wasn't writing it down all in one place. Oh, thank you.
The books, people. You got to keep the books. You got to keep the books.
There you go. So we look forward to hearing from you next week. We look forward to having those topics discussed. And we want to remind you that tomorrow we'll be here with Happy Healthy Habits with Robin Shimizu and friends. Please make sure that you let people know that Robin's going to be on tomorrow, and share that link out. Also, if you are interested in joining BizChicks or know some folks who want to join BizChicks, tell them to text Biz to 33777. We'd love to have you join the conversation and join the BizChicks group. On Friday, we'll be talking tech in English, right, Coach? In English. So come on in and join the fun. And we want to remind you, don't forget to go to the front of your own line. So we thank you, and we ask you to join us again. All those who are watching on the replay, we just want to say hi and thank you for participating. You put your questions in the chat, and hopefully we will get back to them because we'll have to revisit the replay also. So we love you, and we'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.